Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Grandview. We are thrilled to have you with us in worship this morning. My name is Brent Richards. I'm one of the pastors here at Grandview. And whether you're here in the room, watching on live stream, or watching this recorded later, we're glad to have you with us in worship. A couple of announcements that I will highlight this morning. You may have heard of in prior announcements about Kelly Kirk Wenzel's Rise Through Release groups that we are restarting by popular demand. That group is starting this week, and if you have not yet signed up, there are a couple of remaining spots, and you can reach out to Kelly or to the church office about that valuable opportunity. I should note for all of you who are involved in the 10 o'clock hour, not this week, but next week, the 10 o'clock hour will be a bit different. Rather than all of our usual class offerings, we will all be joining together for a variety of fun activities and celebration of our families and our community together. And I see a hand. I am confused, but please. Oh, thank you. I'm not taking bids at the moment, but thank you. I'm not easily thrown. Well done. Lastly, in terms of what I'm going to highlight today, if you didn't notice it on the way in, there's a table in the gathering space with mystery books on it. And today is our book share event. If you brought a book, certainly I hope you're participating in sharing one. If you didn't bring a book, you might still go ahead and consider looking at what's there and taking something. Each of the books, as you'll see, has a little description on it of the age range and what kind of book it is, who it comes from. This one comes from Pastor Jane, assured quality. But it doesn't tell you what's in there. So what we're doing is asking for one another's recommendations and sharing significant reading experiences. So be sure to check that out as well. All of the other announcements are in your announcement sheets that are in the back. There's a QR code on your bulletin as usual. As you know, they circulate up here in between and before services, and you can always check them out on the website. So please do look at all of the opportunities coming up, and with that, let us continue together in worship.
Please rise if you are able, in body or in spirit. The serviceberry is known by many names: Saskatoon, Juneberry, Shadbush, Shadblow, Sugar Plum, and Savis.
God calls us by many names: child, beloved, kin, image bearer.
The serviceberry grows in community. Its branches bend with fruit. Its roots share sustenance underground.
We come to worship the one who made us for mutual flourishing, to live not in scarcity, but in shared abundance.
Good morning, Grandview. Would you join us in making music and praise to God?
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul, I worship Your holy name. The sun comes up. It's a new day dawning. It's time to sing your song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me, let me be singing when the evening comes. shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great journey we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. Amen. You may be seated.
Good morning. At this time, I'd love to invite my young friends on forward. We're going to be continuing our Finding Muchness conversation. Sit out here? Yeah, perfect. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, friends. Okay, so we're going to start with our God-filled good morning. Here, you want to come up here? Sneak in there? Yeah, dude. Okay, so on the count of 3, and there's a good number of us up here. I know there's a couple friends that are out there. I want you guys, when it's our turn, friends, you guys do it with us, okay? So, and then everybody, we're going to see if we can be louder than the rest of them, okay? So we're going to fill the space with our voices. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I would say there was a good, yeah, that was pretty good. What do you guys think? Did you guys really fill the space? Yeah. Cool. So some of my friends last week got to hear the start of me talking about this book, Finding Muchness. It's funny. I like it. So last week, we started by finding a puzzle piece, a piece of this Finding Muchness. And last week, our puzzle piece was gratitude. Does anybody remember what gratitude is? No. Yes. Anybody else remember? Hey, girls, we're not going to hang on the hole yet. Do you remember what this gratitude is? Being Oh, yeah, I heard it. Yeah. Being thankful. So, gratitude. Today, we have a new puzzle piece. And remember last week I had you guys kind of look around, and I will say it's up front here somewhere. Do you see it? Okay. Go ahead, Sophia. Wait, yeah, I think Sophia found it already. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, okay. It was up on the music stand. So this is a big word. Do you want to show it to our friends here? It's the word, and here, everybody, you guys can have a seat. This is the word generosity. So everybody say generosity. Okay, you can have a seat if you want. Okay. Yeah, it's pieces of the puzzle. Yeah, we need one. So we're doing this 3 weeks. We need one more piece of the puzzle. Okay. Yeah, I'll hold it up so then people can see. So this. Oh wait, I may have cut it a little wrong when I trimmed up the. It does fit together technically. So, oh wait. I realized what I did. I cut it. I put the word on the backwards. That's why. That's what it was. The word's on the wrong side. It does fit. So that's a piece of our puzzle. But last week I taught you guys how to say gratitude, because this is thank you, but gratitude is doing it with two hands, right? So I want to teach you in sign language generosity. So generosity, does anybody know what that word means? No. No? Okay. I love the answers over here. So, here.
Generosity means that you give stuff away for people who need it.
That is a great answer. Generosity. Yes, bud. Yeah. So generosity, and that leads to what the sign is. So giving. If you give something, what do you think of? Are you handing something to somebody? So the sign for generosity is, it's giving away. It's taking away from you and giving away. Here, have a seat. Have a seat. So, but I want to actually, our friends back in the booth are going to put up a picture on the slide. I'm going to read you 2 pages that go with our theme of generosity. So I have the book here, but you can also see it up there on the screen. It's a cute little, do you see, what is that duck doing there? It's sheltering the horse. It's being generous and caring for. So the words there says, know the value of being there for someone else, and doing good and feeling good are connected. The next page is, and remember our word is generosity. Be generous. Some of the best things you'll ever get are what you give. So, there's one way that we're going to be generous here today at church is where people out in the gathering space put some books, and they're sharing books that they really enjoyed with other people. Can anybody think of any other ways that we share maybe without needing something in return? I got my number one answer giver right here.
What you can give and nothing return is food, which you can get back.
Yeah, food. So like at our pantry out there, do we donate things and we give so people can take, no questions asked, right?
God's love.
God's love. Oh, that's a great answer. God's love. So, and then some other ways. Has anybody ever walked by in this neighborhood and seen during the week, we have a lot of furry friends who come to visit. And some of you, even leaving church, may see a friend just sitting out there waiting because they really want something. Mr. Bill here at Grandview started something called the doggy hotel, like doggy, retreat. Yes, it's had a couple names, Maggie. And so there's been a couple names, but it has bones and water for doggies when they're walking by. And now some of the dogs in the neighborhood, what do you think they expect? Every time they walk by the church, they expect a bone, right? Yeah. Something Grace and I have been talking about this week has been making like a free little library or a puzzle library. One of the neighborhoods near us has libraries where you just put puzzles, people come, and they take and give. These are all examples of generosity. We're going to go back out, and these are all, again, part of that idea of finding muchness, our gratitude and generosity. We have one more piece of the puzzle next week, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this book, and Miss Kelly's going to actually read this book to us when we head out to Kid Venture. So any friends that are out there, you're going to go ahead and we can join each other out in the library. Yep.
In one of my previous churches, we always used to say that whoever does the children's sermon gets hazardous duty pay. It's very unpredictable. We like everything else to be predictable here, and so I want to warn you that there's about to be an unusual happening up here, and I don't want you to be thrown by it. We'll be bringing down the large screen, which is not a quiet process. So while we do that, why don't you take a moment to greet one another, to offer God's peace to one another, and when you see the screen hit the bottom, that's your timer to sit back down. Here we are. Here we are. Well, you're well and thoroughly greeted. Thank you. I do have one addition to the joys and concerns that are listed in your bulletin. Chloe Chapman, who is our nursery director, if you don't know Chloe, Chloe Chapman's mother had a heart attack this week, which is a prayer for them, for all of the family, and for her mother for continued recovery. But there's a joy associated with it as well, because she's doing well enough that the doctor characterized it as miraculous that she is doing so well. And so that's a joy for all of us. If you are new with us or newish with us and are ready to make a closer connection, in the chairs or pews in front of you, you will find a contact card. Thank you, Vanna White. It's such a participating congregation this morning. Thank you. Those cards are available for you to give us some contact information and let us know what you might be interested in having a contact about, or just having a coffee with one of the pastors or whatever. On the reverse of that card, and it's always available for all of you, is a place to share your prayer requests. We are a praying congregation, and we hold one another up in that way. So please use those cards this morning and anytime to share your prayer requests with your larger faith community. For now, let's join together in our prayers. God, in the perfection of the Trinity, you had no need of anything. And yet you called it good to create all that is and to share your good with creation. For that abundance we give thanks. We are thankful and joyful for community, for welcome, and for our growth together. You share with us in new births, new opportunities, restoration of health and wholeness, and a place in your kingdom here and now. Share with us, God, your care for the nations and people of the earth. Pour out your wisdom and peace on all. May our drive to hoard and protect what we think is ours melt away in the knowledge of your abundance. Share with us the great riches of peace, justice, equality, and unity with one another and with you. And as you share with us, we recognize that you invite us to share in the work of making those gifts seen in our community. Give us strength and hope to persevere. Share with us, God, your healing and grace. Pour out for us abundance of healing, wholeness, care, belonging, and love. Share with us and through us the gifts of listening ears, presence by a bedside, walking side by side, generosity of resources, hands that build or fix or heal. Share rest in your presence with those who have died. With those who grieve, share comfort and hope of the resurrection. For your abundance in all of these things, we pour out our abundant gratitude, and we share together in the prayer Jesus taught his friends, saying, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
When we're working with a hymn text, there are often lots of different tunes that you can sing with the same text. It's the fun of being in a hymnal and seeing familiar words sung in many different ways. And so the offertory song this morning is Take My Life and Let It Be. And we'll be featuring two different musical settings for this same text. As we sing these gorgeous words, pray that you might see how they land with you, and if either of the settings hits you in a particularly meaningful way as you consider how God is calling you to give.
The reading for today is from the book of Exodus, chapters 16, verses 4 through 8. Then the Lord said to Moses, I am going to rain down bread from heaven for you, and each day the people shall go out and gather enough for that day. In that way, whether they will follow my instructions or not. On the sixth day, when they prepare what they bring in, it will be twice as much as they gather on other days. So Moses and Aaron said to all the Israelites, in the evening you shall know that it was the Lord who brought you out of the land of Egypt. And in the morning you shall see the glory of the Lord, because he has heard your complaining against the Lord. For what are we that you complain against us? And Moses said, when the Lord gives you meat to eat in the evening, and your fill of that bread in the morning, because the Lord has heard the complaining that you utter against him, what are we? Your complaining is not against us, but against the Lord. The reading continues from the Gospel according to Luke, chapters 12, verses 16 through 21. Then he told them a parable. The land of a rich man produced abundantly, and he thought to himself, what should I do? For I have no place to store my crops. Then he said, I will do this. I will pull down my barns and build larger ones. And there I will store all my grain and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, you have ample goods laid up for many years. Relax, eat, drink, be merry. But God said to him, you fool, this very night your life is being demanded of you. And the things you have prepared, whose will they be? So it is with those who store up treasures for themselves, but are not rich toward God.
Good morning. The Serviceberry, this book by Robin Wall Kimmerer, is the book that we are studying during this short sermon series in October. In it, we are confronted with ideas of scarcity and abundance. This short book can be read in one sitting, but really it is better savored over many sittings and over time. The book is summed up even before it starts. The epigraph is that phrase or saying that often comes right before the first chapter. The epigraph is, all flourishing is mutual. And I love what Minister Kate did with the children's message with generosity. It's this, like, the sign language for generosity is this back and forth, this mutuality. Well, last week, Liz wondered and then encouraged us to chortle every now and then with some laughter. And then later in the sermon, Liz mentioned the phrase, all flourishing is mutual. It's right on the back cover. And the thing is, I not only chortled during that part of the sermon when I listened to it, I actually laughed out loud because I didn't know that was back there. Because when I have read this book, I would read it, I get finished with it, I would close it, I would reverently put it down, never ever looking at the back. But I actually love that the words right before the book starts, all flourishing is mutual, it starts with that, and it ends with that. Now, I do want you to read the whole book, but that is the essence of the book. So let's pray these words. Let's breathe in all flourishing, and we will breathe out is mutual. So let's breathe in all flourishing, and breathe out is mutual. One more time. Our scripture for today includes the story of God's provision of manna in the wilderness. God gave the people exactly enough, what they needed, no more and no less. No matter someone's age, their gender, their height, their weight, or their social status. And when people tried to store up and save and hoard, the manna went bad. It got rotten. It became inedible. They got just enough. Enough for everyone and enough for everyone. Enough for everyone, Kimmerer writes, recognizing enoughness is a radical act in an economy that is always urging us to consume more. The New Testament reading from Luke 12 is known as the parable of the rich fool. And just a verse or two prior to the parable, Jesus warns the crowd to be on your guard against all kinds of greed, for one's life does not consist in an abundance of possessions. And then just after our parable of the rich fool, Jesus tells his followers to not worry, that life is more than food and clothes. Instead, strive for the kingdom. I recently read an essay entitled Guest Ability, and it just hit me. Guest ability is very similar to Kimmerer's ideas of reciprocity. If our first response to the receipt of a gift is gratitude, then our second is reciprocity, a gift to give in return. It's a beautiful cycle. Now, we talk a lot about inclusion in this church, and I'm glad that we do. Maybe even it's more important to do that now than ever because of executive orders and what the white evangelical church is promoting, which is actually a very narrow and bigoted view of what they call truth, which is actually incredibly exclusionary. Conventional inclusion rests on the notion of hospitality. Come on in, be part of us, part of what we're doing. One of the profound lessons that Pastor Andrea taught me was what we do on our sign out front. She never wanted us to use the phrase, join us. Join us for worship, join us for the lawn party, join us for cheese night, whatever it would be. Because join us, though it sounds welcoming and friendly, open and inclusive, but the minute we say us, there is an assumption of them. It's subtle, but it's there. What if the essay suggests, this essay about guestability, we called it not hospitality, but we actually called it guestability. Guestability means the grace and receptivity to act generously in other people's territory. It means setting aside the privileges of being the host and being willing and available to accommodate and adapt, to learn and appreciate. When you go to stay in someone's home, maybe overnight, you might take a gift. You might ask, well, what time should I arrive? You might take an interest in their artwork or their furniture or their other possessions that they have. You may express gratitude for their cooking, and then you may actually try to penetrate the mysteries of their dishwasher or recycling system. Recently, Olivia Walters and Denise Park accepted the opportunity to host a mom and her 2 young kids in their home. They're going to share their story, but I want you, and you'll see in hearing this story, that they responded from a place of gratitude, openness, and curiosity. That's all part of reciprocity, and that's all part of guestability. So a mom, this is the preamble to their story. A mom comes to the United States from the Caribbean to attend a wedding. That's a little more than a year ago in the summer of 2024. She was pregnant with twins and went into early labor. She delivered both boys at Hershey Medical Center. One was in fine health, and the other needed what should have been a rather simple procedure. During that procedure, a mistake was made while inserting the breathing tube. A very serious mistake that resulted in the young one needing to have a tracheotomy and a feeding tube. Now keep in mind that this mom speaks only Spanish. She was with her healthy newborn at the Ronald McDonald House in Hershey, while also trying to care for a seriously now ill child in the NICU, all the while being away from her family, who were in another country. This past summer, Hershey Med said that our NICU baby needed to be discharged. There was nothing more that they could do. He still has the trach and the feeding tube, and Mom cannot take them back to home. The boy needs the medical care that's simply not available back home. Babies back home with this condition die. It's as simple and as heartbreaking as that. And through her own advocacy and with the assistance of an attorney, our NICU baby was transferred to a residential care facility for medically fragile children. That's how the mom moved to Lancaster. She and her other son were temporarily able to stay with a family through Church World Service, but that was only a short-term solution.
It started over paper plates and picnic food, a neighborhood barbecue, the smell of charcoal, cut grass, the kind of summer evening that where conversations drift like smoke, light, unhurried, super ordinary. Denise was out of town, and I was making small talk with a man who told me about a nonprofit he'd started called Rehome, a platform like Airbnb, he said, for refugee resettlement and temporary housing. I remember saying almost offhandedly, "Oh, that's so interesting. My wife and I have a basement suite that's empty now." Our daughter and her family had moved out after 6 years of calling it home, and we hadn't decided what that space might become next. It was nothing more than casual conversation between strangers at a cookout. I finished my hot dog and wandered off to chat with someone else. A few days later, my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. "Hi, this is Joe. We met at Bill and Jamie's about that basement."
And I gave her the look, as I do many times. Half amusement and half, oh, here we go again.
I don't remember exactly what I texted back, but I remember Joe's reply. "Great, I'll let them know there's a non-0% chance of interest."
And from that small, improbable thread, a tapestry began to form.
There was a mother, as Jane shared, supported by Church World Service with twin boys, one medically fragile, living at a pediatric care facility here in Lancaster. A ventilator to breathe, a feeding tube to eat, and his mother needed to be nearby for daily visits, but her temporary housing was ending. The road behind them was long. They had spent months at Hershey Medical Center and the Ronald McDonald House, and the road ahead was very uncertain.
We joined a Zoom call to learn more, and by the end, our hearts were full of questions and something that felt like possibility.
I asked them to come see the space before any decisions were made. It was a basement, after all. I really loved the space, and our family had lived there, but still, low ceilings, imperfect light, echoes of small feet that had run through it for years.
When the Church World Service representative stepped in, he smiled and said, "This is perfect."
And I laughed because it's not perfect. It's so far from perfect, but maybe that's the point. Hospitality doesn't require perfect.
He explained that for the baby to come home, 2 adults needed to be trained in his medical care, and there had only ever been one, his mother.
And before I could overthink it, I asked, well, could I be trained?
And suddenly, all the loose threads began to weave together.
Still, we needed to decide. Denise and I have made some big decisions in our 19 years together, and this one felt big. It's intimate and uncertain to have a stranger move into your home, and it felt like saying yes to a story that we did not know the ending of. At a Sunday night at Longs Park, at a concert, I turned to you and asked, well, what are we gonna do?
As always, I'm like, didn't we already decide?
But we said it out loud then, officially. We'd welcome this family for as long as they needed.
That kind of decision spoken into the open air matters, because when the hard days come, and they do, it helps to remember the exact moment you made the choice and why.
Of course, there were practical problems. It needed new paint, there was worn carpet, and a long to-do list. We told Matt from Church World Service that the space needed far more work than we could possibly manage in 2 weeks' time, both financially and physically. It just wasn't feasible.
And that's when the community appeared like mushrooms after rain. 15 volunteers came with buckets, paint rollers, and kindness that smelled like lemon cleaner. A church congregation covered the cost of new carpet, and the local flooring company quietly added a discount. Friends began asking, what can we do? How can we help?
We are notoriously bad at answering that question, but I made a wish list. It was 3 a.m., I couldn't sleep. I went full HGTV plus early childhood educator mode, imagining the coziest, most welcoming space for this mom and her boys, everything from pots and pans to toys and curtains. Denise saw the list and you were like, you were ridiculous, but you weren't wrong. It was over the top, but I thought maybe a few things will be purchased and they might arrive and we can thrift or borrow the rest. And then boxes started coming, so many that even the delivery driver asked what was happening and helped carry them inside. By the end, every single item on the list was purchased and arrived.
We built shelves and cribs and assembled furniture and organized late into the night. Friends dropped off mattresses, toys, clothes in the right sizes. Pastor Jane delivered a microwave. Others brought gift cards for groceries. A friend in Australia mailed storybooks in English and Spanish.
The night before move-in, we were exhausted. It was around 7 p.m., and I suddenly realized we didn't have a toy shelf. I was fixated. It needed to be low to the ground, sturdy, accessible, Montessori style.
I tried to give her as much patience as possible, knowing that this was what she was fixated on. So I said I would stay home and finish the last few things as she went on her futile quest.
I drove to every thrift store and came up empty-handed. I came home tired and defeated. And then there was a knock at the door. It was our neighbor. Hey, I built this shelf, he said. Would you want to use it downstairs? It was exactly right. Sturdy, secure, low to the ground. God in every detail. I cried.
The next day, they moved in, boxes and bags, laughter and nervousness, Spanish and English tumbling over each other, and so much Google Translate. A baby asleep in our daughter's arms on the swing by evening.
And then, just like that, like all holy things, it became ordinary. Dinner text from Jennifer, comida lista, Denise teaching Akon to cluck like a chicken, celebrating the boys turning 1, surrounded by family and friends, and Miso, our dog, joyfully stationed under the high chair to catch falling snacks. Neighbors leaving loaves of sourdough on the porch, and friends helping drive to the care facility.
It's all both profoundly extraordinary and beautifully normal.
Because sharing life and space with others is hard, holy work. It wears on you, stretches you, fills you, and empties you in the same breath.
But it's the kind of work that roots you deeply in community, the kind of belonging that is the work of making gentle a bruised world, where generosity and reciprocity become the currency of living.
Each day we're learning that what we give, time, space, patience, is not lost. It comes back again and again in laughter, in trust, in the quiet miracle of being human together.
And that's what this basement has become, a small ecosystem of generosity, something imperfect and holy.
The first picture that was put up was a bulletin from July 20th of 2024. That was the morning of the evening of the Longs Park discussion that they mentioned, and the words of the call to worship were just perfect about loving your neighbor and welcoming the stranger. Something holy. We've heard this story. Let's watch it now. Hear this again. That's what this basement has become, a small ecosystem of generosity. An ecosystem is a community of living organisms interacting with each other and their physical environment, forming a complex web of life. Who's the host? Who's the guest? That's reciprocity. And then how do we learn to become guestable? By beholding Jesus, who asks us not to meet him in his territory, but through the incarnation where he comes to ours. Jesus exercises guestability by eating with us, sharing our life, abiding with us, and belonging with us. In him, the whole distinction between who is guest and who is host, whose territory this really is, becomes hopelessly and gloriously confused. Because Denise and Olivia see a mom and two boys as guests in their lives, and a mom and two boys see Olivia and Denise as guests in their lives, everyone is flourishing. After all flourishing is mutual. Amen.
I have eyes to see the road on which I walk. I have ears to hear the voice of heaven call. And if eyes and ears are leading me to live this life you've made, let my heart be not afraid. And I will do your will till the work is done, every belly filled, and each cup be overrun, and may these trembling hands by your grace be still till the work is done. Lord, I will do your will till the work is done. Lord, I will do your will. I have listened to the stories of your son, how he lived among the lost and lonely ones. He broke bread with thief and beggar when the world had cast them out. Let my heart not turn them down. And I will do your will till the work is done, every belly filled, let each cup be overrun, and may these trembling hands by your grace be still till the work is done. Lord, I will do your will till the work is done. Lord, I will do your will. Even when the road is endless, even when my legs are weak, you will be for me a present. Give me strength to complete your will.
the service berry, Robin Wall Kimmerer writes, I've long believed the ones who have more joy win. Friends, go out there and win. Win through knowing your belovedness, that you bear the very image of God, and then share it with the world, eating lots of berries and laughing all the way. Go in peace.